Whoa, here I am. Yeah, I hit the button. Yeah, she's busy. It's just nice to be doing a walk and talk again. Yeah, I had some other subjects in mind earlier, but the day's just kind of gone kind of weird. Anyway, I just got out of a Skype call with Oliver Scott guy, who I haven't talked to in a while, and I don't know, some other British guy or something. Is no God. Yeah. Anyway, I used a phrase though towards the end that I thought was kind of funny. As we were talking about Africa and shit, and so I said the words. They need a book, like Life for Dummies, a dummies book for life, and I like that theme. So Life for Dummies, yeah. But this sort of relates. I was also at the time recording a video response or whatever to parts of Professor Anton's video, and so I guess I'll just expand on that, even though that's already a half an hour. Who knows? I'm going to upload this shit anyway. Lots of videos. When I get to it, I just don't want to be redundant. Sorry, so I'm trying to think what I did get to and what I didn't get to. But really the point is that we know this is not, anything dramatic, more dramatic than this whole replicating molecule thing. God, it's cold. I should wear a heavier jacket. So it's, there's really not much room in the facts to inject this, what people call nuanced. Yeah, nuance. There really isn't much room for nuance. It's a DNA molecule replicating. And that's it. In this dynamic of a competitive environment. So, it starts off with one cell, and then there's two, and then there's 5, and then there's 500. And then they start competing with each other for resources. And they start producing copies of themselves that are more and more mutated, distorted, errored. And the errors that are make their teeth sharper get kept, survive, and this is what it ends up being. A DNA molecule covered in what can be described as a toolkit. A weapon arsenal. And and each one has different weapons. We started in the trees and moved to the grassland, the plains, because we could exploit more resources and more varied resources. And in doing that, we changed our structure. We now became maybe faster, bigger, beefier, over time. And, we're big on this. We do the brain thing. We do the, gang warfare thing pretty well. Like a pack of wolves. We function pretty much the same way. We have plans of attack. We have leaders and followers. The mechanisms are all there. And so these people are taking something that's dirt, crude, simple, and they're trying desperately to turn it into something nuanced, ambiguous, complicated, and it just isn't there. The dog loose. Dog shitting loose. A loose dog shitting. Oh, he's been at my house. What are you doing anyway? Who are you? Huh? Don't you have a home? Don't you? Huh? You got those little chainy things on you. People don't keep their dog in the house. So anyway. And they certainly didn't clean up his poo-poo. Didn't step into that. No. Anyway. Where was I? Oh, God. Really, I'm struggling. I was doing pretty good for a few days, but I feel like shit again. Anyway, really, not your problem. This cold weather is just really putting me off. Yeah. Summer, winter. I ain't in the mood for that. Anyway, I need to do the Rumpelstiltskin thing, or whoever the fuck the guy was who fell asleep. Anyway, where was I? DNA. Yeah, so it's not a complex story. There's no room for all this nuance. There's no room for self-reflexive organism of the, the universe rubbing one off, whatever the bullshit is. These wacky metaphors for what the hell's going on here. Everything we are because it had served a function for our ancestors in terms of making them more survivable. And that's all there is to it. And it's sad, it's lamentable that that's the truth. It doesn't really fit in with what our ego wants to hear, which is, oh, you're just fucking marvelous, man. You are so fucking marvelous. Yeah, it just doesn't fit. The truth is, you're just another redundant ball of need that's going to worm its way through the scurvy humus of half-dead and zombie-type life forms. You'll eke out your little perceptions of glory or accomplishment as you play the game. You'll steal some candy from a few babies and feel all proud of yourself. You'll laugh at some other person in some less fortunate circumstance. You'll find somebody who's a loser. You'll point your finger at him, great Dex, and say ha ha ha, and laugh your ass off. That's what you'll do, because that's the only game there is here. There's a game of competition, and you're playing it even when you think you're not playing it. You can't get out of it. It's all around you, and everything you do is going to be tainted by it. Because even when you're being humble, you're competing to be humble. You're competing to be a thoughtful person, or a generous person, or the most eloquent person, or the most blah blah blah. You're always trying to get to the surface, to breathe the air of accomplishment, or I'm finished, or I did my duty. So yeah, when you're nagging other people for being assholes, you're sort of being an asshole. I mean, it's just, you're competing in the, I can be the best nag. Or you're trying to, if you're a Professor Anton, you're troubled by the cheat in the game. And so you'll just tell yourself some stories about, well, you can't be any other way. And I did the best I could, and so it's all alright. How you doing? And it's just sort of bullshit. Just making excuses. Yeah, a really nice camera, but it's a little too cloudy for good pictures, I think. Although maybe not. Got good enough camera. You keep it still enough. I guess you don't need lighted. You don't need much light at all. But anyway, that's a little bit of draft science thrown in there. Yeah. Anyway, so where was I? But it's really hard to keep a camera still enough in this low light to get any high resolution pictures. Yeah, I'll say that. Just throw that in there. Got a digital camera, but it looked like a pretty good camera, so maybe you can. Yeah. So anyway, but yeah, we can just keep going through all these layers of the ego. How it taints so much of what we call the good in life. Love and all these other words. If you were really to break them down, you'll find an awful lot of that fucking ego thing stuck on that shit. A lot of conditioned bigotries and sensibility bullshit conditioning. It just ain't a pretty word if you really look at it. Just like life isn't a good game when you really look at it. But the sellers are invested in it. These people will keep talking the talk because they're walking in the game. They're playing the game. And so they're going to keep rationalizing the game. It's sort of like the two approaches. I mean, I sort of saw this with cigarette smoking. I'm all for calling cigarette smoking what it is. A stupid, dirty, dumb, ignorant, fucking ugly addiction. But yeah, that doesn't give anybody cause to say people should be persecuted for it. It's just bullshit. It's a personal vice. But there'd be other people who would insist on defending cigarettes. I mean, they were attempting to defend their rights to smoke, but they were doing it in this preposterous manner, in my opinion, where they would sit there and try to say cigarettes serve some purpose. Well, it makes me smarter. It makes me something else. And no, it's a waste of your money. It's a waste of your health. It's just fucking stupid. So anyway, but that's sort of the point here, is that these people are sort of choosing to fanatically defend what is undefendable. How you doing? They should just give it up. Alright, it's a stupid game. Just call it what it is. A stupid game. Alright, you didn't invent it. I mean, you don't gotta take responsibility for it. But just admit. And admit that you're caught up in it for a lot of personal, subjective reasons. Not anything rational. You're not rationally motivated to live. You're motivated by your little twitchy parts, by your little feely thingies that say I need and I want, and your ego that says, I haven't won queen for a day yet, so I'm not complete. And we know that you're never complete anyway. Even when you win, your third Academy Award, you're still saying, oh, but that other guy's got 4. There's always a reason to keep pushing. I mean, even when you're way ahead in the race, we're paranoid enough to keep looking and keep saying, well, if I just push a little harder, I can get a double, triple lead. And then if I push a little harder, I can get a quadruple, double, triple lead. Because we're insatiable and we're insane. We're fucking nuts. Just admit it. Just admit it. Yeah. It's funny. Yeah. And just concede the point. Life is a bad cigarette. It's just a piece of shit. And you're addicted, so go ahead and smoke it, babe. Suck that fucker for everything it's got. But don't glorify it. Don't rationalize excuses for people to think it's worth trying, it's worth messing around with, it's worth playing with. No. Give them every best advice that it's better you just stay the fuck away from this thing, as it can go in so many really bad places. Safety first. Yeah, that's the thing you gotta preach. Alright, be as reckless as you want, but don't tell other people to be stupid. Don't suggest that it's harmless. That's just bullshit. That's just really destructive. And other people accuse me of being the harm causer. And I'm like, make any sense out of that. Well, whatever. The truth underlies all this shit. And I got the truth, in my opinion. I got the facts. That's the word. If you don't like the word truth, let me throw the word facts at you. The facts are on my side. I'm sitting on them. I got a solid foundation from which I'm pontificating. And you're just not going to undo them. You're not going to unravel them. You're not going to dent them. And you can blow all the smoke and create all the fake fog you want. And to a fair mind, none of that shit's going to work. Because it's there. The truth is there to be seen. Anyway, enough. Till the next time and such.